Hello and welcome to Brannock's Reviews. In this one I'm going to be looking at the new Hunger Games film, Catching Fire. It's the second film in the series. It's a trilogy of books. The third film is going to be released in a year's time, November 2014, which is based on the third book, but they are splitting that into two films. So the fourth film, which will be kind of book 3 part 2, will be out a year later, the end of 2015. I think it's late 2015. But they're being filmed now anyway, pretty much back to back. So, but my review of the second one, like I said, I've just been to see it. Really good, very well put together. The actors that are in this are really good. I'm a big fan of Donald Sutherland. And Philip Seymour Hoffman he can play a slimy bastard as well. He plays the kind of propagandist guy. He's kind of brought in to undo some of the damage that was done in the first one, because obviously the two main characters, Katniss and Peter, they obviously defied the president, well, the government, whatever you want to call it, the dictatorship that is standing in this, by kind of going against the game by not killing each other. At the end of the film, they were about to kill themselves. They were about to commit suicide, but didn't. And the problem that is happening in the second film is the aftermath of that is that it was seen as an act of defiance, and therefore there's a big rebellion kind of thing. That is really gaining momentum, and they've set a precedent by publicly acting in defiance. So they kind of try to twist it. The President Snow, played by Donald Sutherland, basically says to the female character, "Look, you know, you've really started something here. You know, we're going to mess with your family unless you do exactly what we say, and we think it would be better if you made out like what you did wasn't an act of defiance. It was simply that you two loved each other and wanted to die together because you didn't want to kill the other, kind of thing. It would be better if it was seen as that. So you go along with that, and you kind of go out on stage in front of the whole world, sector to sector, go around telling them that you two are so in love, and you've got to convince me that you're in love with each other. Otherwise I'm going to mess with your families, basically, and I'm going to kill them." And so they do that, they kind of do that, but they don't do a very good job selling it to the public. The people are basically kind of like kicking off every time they're on stage when they're saying, "Yeah, we love each other." Well, the public aren't buying it. They're saying, "No, we know you're doing this out of defiance. What do you think? Tell us what you really think," kind of thing, because they're obviously kind of scripted. And so that's not working. So basically, the propagandist guy, he's brought in. He sort of set up the games originally, so he's kind of brought back to do a bit of damage control. So they set up this new Hunger Game tournament because it's like a big anniversary. They get all the previous winners and put them all in one big showdown kind of thing. Well, that's what the plan is anyway. It's pretty much like they did in the first film, and which means bringing back Katniss and Peter and putting them back into the arena again. Like I say, in a similar manner as to what they had to go through in the first film. But there's a lot of twists and turns in it. It's really well done. I'm not going to give away any more spoilers, but you've probably read the book anyway. If you've read the book, I haven't read it, but I'm pretty sure it follows fairly close to the books. Now, it does end on a cliffhanger as well. Like I said, I'm not going to go through the whole plot of the film. I've just kind of told you how the film is set up. That's most of the kind of first third of the film, and it kind of goes from there. But some really good characters in this. Like I said, I've only just seen the first film for the first time a few days ago, so I wasn't really going into this expecting to really enjoy it, but I did. So I think the fact that I would have thought that this was more aimed at sort of teenage girls, pretty much, but the fact that I can enjoy this shows that they've done a really good job, and this is kind of all audiences can watch this. Well, apart from young children, obviously, the 12 certificate. But no, very good series of films, and I'm definitely going to go see the third and fourth film when they come out. But like I say, it does end on a cliffhanger, and just like the book, from what I understand, to be continued. The first film didn't really end on a cliffhanger. We knew it was to be continued, but this new one really does kind of, makes you not want to wait for the third one. It's pretty cool. So it's funny, I think there were a few people in the cinema when I went to see it that didn't actually realise that it was ending like it was going to end, and they were like, what? Oh, they're not going to do that, they're not like splitting it, are they? And it's like, well, no, it's the second book, there's like a third book, so I don't think they understood that. And they're like, oh no, it's just like Harry Potter. I was like, well, get over it, you're going to have to wait a year to see the third one, but we'll see anyway. I don't really have much else to say about it. Like I say, some great actors in this, like Jeffrey Wright as well, I'm a big fan of. He played Felix Leiter in the more recent James Bond films, Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace. And some others that I kind of recognise, like Amanda Plummer, she was in Pulp Fiction. God, she's looking old as well, seriously. Well, she will be, I mean, Pulp Fiction was like 20 years ago. Stanley Tucci reprising his role. Really big fan of Stanley Tucci as well. He can play that kind of tweaked character, quite well, that not a lot of actors could play. And he's got these really creepy, like shiny white teeth, like ridiculous hairdo. Looks really camp. But if you've seen the first one, it's as he was in the first film, basically. But yeah, he did a good job. I didn't realise Lenny Kravitz was in these films as well. Yeah, I think he was in the first one, but I was like, that's Lenny Kravitz! He doesn't seem to have aged much as well. That's kind of weird when you compare to music stuff that he did back in the 90s, early 90s. Who else? Liam Hemsworth is in this as well. Probably about as much as he was in the first film, I think. Maybe a little bit more. Doesn't have he's kind of a major character without being in the film much, but he's pretty good. I've only seen him in Expendables 2, but obviously his brother is Chris Hemsworth, the guy who plays Thor in the Avengers films. Who else is in this? Woody Harrelson. Yeah, he's really good. I like him more in this than I did in the first one. He's got some brilliant scenes. He pretty much steals a lot of the scenes in this film, does Woody Harrelson. He's got a lot of he's kind of creepy and kind of scary in a way. Just in general, Woody Harrelson is in general. He always has been. Even in Cheers, he was kind of like that. But he pretty much plays the exact same character traits that he had in the first film. He's drunk most of the time. And he kind of jumps in and saves the day quite a bit. Definitely recommend it anyway. If you didn't like the first film, you're probably not going to like this. It's very similar, but I would say better. Just a little bit better than the first film. So give it a watch anyway. It's not in 3D, I don't think, which I don't care about, because as you've seen in my other reviews, I'm not a big fan of 3D anyway. So it wasn't presented in 3D at the cinema that I went to, which is a bit of a surprise really, because all big films nowadays seem to be presented in 3D, so it doesn't need, it's not that kind of film, to be honest. It's not all about, I mean, it has a lot of special effects in it, don't get me wrong, but it's not driven by special effects at all, and the effects that are in it are very good. I mean, they could have maybe done with a bit more practical effects, I don't know. There's an argument to be made both ways for that in this film. I didn't mind it anyway. I'm not a fan of CGI at all. I usually really want them to rein it in, but in this film I didn't feel that way anyway. So I think I'll end it there anyway. Like I said, the sequel is coming out next year, 2014. I can't wait. I will definitely be going to watch that. So anyway, the website is brandxreviews.com. Go to the website. We've done plenty of reviews on there. Me and another one of my reviewers. We'll be adding to this as well in due course. We do old films, we do new films, other stuff. We're going to probably do some music as well, reviewing some music and other items that are pretty cool. So check it out. Anyway, leave comments on the YouTube page or on the website brandxreviews.com, like I say. And let us know what you think, and check back for updates, because there will be plenty to come. Thank you very much.
Go ahead. Her entire species must be eradicated.
Her species, sir?
The other victors. Because of her, they all pose a threat. Because of her, they all think they're invincible.